Hello everyone, it's another beautiful Wednesday afternoon and here we are on the program Woman to Woman. I'm Adesiwa Osawagie. You can call me Ade Baby if you like, but I am Adesiwa Osawagie. I decided to call myself Ade Baby this afternoon because every woman deserves to be a baby, pampered, loved, romanced, given everything a woman deserves. Respect and every other thing. All right? That is what a woman wants, and that is what a woman should get from a man. Not boss at every given time. So Woman to Woman is also part of the 16 days activism against domestic violence. And you know that once we're talking about domestic violence, women are usually the victims. We're not saying men don't fall victims of domestic violence, but 90% of domestic violence, a woman always is the victim. And activism against domestic violence is a crucial global issue. It's not a Nigerian thing, no. It's all over the world. So it's often marked by campaigns, events, and all to raise awareness and promoting action against it, all right? So this is what we're going to do today. Domestic violence, the legal implications, and of course the medical implications, what women have to go through, what women shouldn't go through when it comes to the issue of domestic violence. Joining me to discuss this very interesting topic, I have in the studio to my far left, I have Eniye Favor Omarige. She's a nurse, she is an educator, College of Nursing Sciences, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. It's a pleasure to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
And you're looking stunning this afternoon.
What to do? I'm being pampered.
You should be pampered. And I also have Tega Iswakbo. She's the principal partner, Justice Shields Consults, a legal luminary, if you must know. Tega, you're looking smashing this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Okay. Are you also being pampered?
Of course. By the right man.
By the right man. You see? You see the rider by the right man. All right, Tega, it's nice to have you join us today.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions. As a legal practitioner, please describe domestic violence, or what constitutes domestic violence in this our country, Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, domestic violence is any abusive or violent acts committed by one person on another in a domestic environment, in a domestic space. Now, a lot of times people think domestic violence just talks about physical abuse, you know, slapping, hitting, beating, and all of that. That's just like one of it, you know, that's like the physical abuse. But it goes beyond physical abuse. You have economic abuse, economic violence on either the man or the woman. You have emotional and psychological abuse. You have harmful traditional practices, talking about FGM, female genital mutilation, widowhood practices, and all of that. And then you have sexual abuse. All these are forms of domestic violence. So when you talk about physical abuse, you talk about beating, slapping, hitting, you know, battery, and, you know, assault, and all of that. And then you talk about physical, sexual abuse, rape. We have marital rape these days.
So a man can actually rape his wife?
Yes, a man can actually rape his wife. When you are telling your wife, oh, come, and the wife is saying, I don't feel like it, or maybe I'm sick, or I'm not up to it, and all that, and you actually force yourself on your wife without her consent. That is marital rape.
What is the legal implication of this?
I mean, the man can get some criminal penalties for it, if it is proven that the woman actually did not give her consent.
So how can it be proven that a wife did not give her consent?
I'm sure the woman will sustain injuries.
During marriage, when we take vows and all of that, you promise to submit and all of that.
Yes.
So this is very kind of tricky.
By injuries, you know, the woman can sustain injuries because it is forced. It's like you're perpetrating violence against that woman. It is forced. If you look at you know, private part, you can see the evidence that this is actually forced. It's not willing. It's not voluntary. It's not with the woman's express consent. Do you understand? So that's a form of violence.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Tega. This one, men raping their wives is it's one kind
Strange,
to the ears. You know, it's one kind. Let me put it that way. I think that should be a topic for another day.
Yeah,
it should be a
I'm sure
topic
we'll
for
have
another
time
day.
to explain
I'm
all that.
going to save that. Tega, I'm going to bring you back to come and talk about that.
That's no problem.
And I know a lot of women will be interested. Okay, Favor, let me ask you this now. You know, you see a woman on the street. What happened to your face? Oh, I hit it on the wall, or I slipped in the bathroom. How can you slip in the bathroom and it's only the face that you will hit and all of that, you know? There's so many story. Now, let me ask you this question that I have prepared for you, all right? How does domestic violence affect the woman's mental health? Because this is woman to woman, and we're doing domestic violence that concerns the woman, that affects the woman. So, talk to me, the mental health of a woman who is being abused.
The mental health of a woman that's been abused, it's a complex matter. Because this woman is going to be outside being physically bruised or physically injured. She's going to be traumatized mentally. She's going to have very unstable mental health. Either she's going to slip into depression, you know, she's going to start living a life in anxiety and fear, all right? And then this set of women are the ones that will have post-traumatic stress disorder, where at every point in time they are nervous, they are scared, they are afraid, you know, and because of that particular experiences they're having, they find it difficult to relate with people outside.
So what about women who don't even talk and they suffer all of this is in silence? What's the way out for such women?
A lot of
medically
they have to open up, because the challenge we have is many of our women don't open up because of stigma, you know, and all of that. And you know, what will people say? We believe that you are answerable to your husband. So anything that the man does to you, swallow it, you know, rub it like cream, enjoy it, and all of that. No, but when our women speak out, there are a lot of solutions for them. But the challenge that we do have is they don't speak out. But I would suggest that we can impute screening, traumatic screening into antenatal care. You know, when women come for general checkup, we can bring in, and in the process of doing that counseling and screening, you discover that some of these persons are even in an abused relationship and don't even know that they are being abused. They just believe that, oh, as a child, my father used to beat my mother and they were fine, so it's a norm. My husband should beat me.
So what kind of injury should we look out for? Because some women will not talk. Some husbands, there was this case that was brought to me on radio, and if you see the woman's lap, the man does not beat her where people will see. It goes to the lap and the buttocks. That's where he hits, and then the back. But she showed me because we are women and nothing to hide. She wanted help, and that's why she did all of that. So what kind of injuries should we look out for? What kind of injuries should we look out for on the face, the hand, the legs, you know, so that when a woman is telling you, oh, I slipped and fell, oh, my son was playing with something and that thing hit my face, oh, my head, when NEPA took lights, I didn't know, I ran into the door that you have been passing since God knows how many years. You know, so what kind of injuries should we look out for? You
look out for bruises, blunt wounds, where you see a woman underneath her skin. You cannot see obvious cuts, obvious injuries. But it's discovered that she's looking puffy, skin is looking. There's something we call erythematosis, where there's blood underneath her skin. Why? Because the man has beaten her so much that she's bleeding underneath her skin, and then, you know, look out for those kind of injuries. Look out for injuries in our, at her back, you know, laps, where she usually will cover. Then her face, her neck region. Look out for broken bones too, fracture. Because some of these women carry the fracture and they just say, yeah, no, I just slept in the bathroom. And then look out for a black eye. But these women carry black eyes, you know, missing tooth. Their tooth will be missing. They'll just say, I fell in the bathroom, and they'll come to the dental clinic. Sir, I had an accident and my tooth and all of that.
Meanwhile, it was better
Meanwhile,
battling.
it was
original beating.
No, original war in the home.
Mr. Tega, what steps should a victim of domestic violence take to ensure her safety and protection, putting into consideration the fact that they know they talk? So what steps should a victim take to ensure her safety, her protection?
Okay, first, like I'm not.
Or what does the law provide for such a woman?
Okay, so first, the victim of domestic violence has to speak out and speak up. You know, and then make sure you tell your family members, maybe your pastor. Although time and again has proven that some of our pastors will encourage that the victims stay there and say, don't worry, be praying and all that. But shall speak out and speak up. Tell your family members, tell your church members, tell your, your close friends. They might just know what to do. And then seek professional help. Because like we have said, one of the traumas that you can suffer is psychological trauma. You might not even know. Do you understand? And then you can stretch it further by reporting to the police. At every of our divisions, we have family units where you can go and report. You can walk into
the police station.
In the police station.
Ask for family units.
Family units. You can
Women, I hope you're listening. If you're a victim of domestic violence, enter a police station. The police is your friend. Ask for the family units.
Yes. They are very well trained these days. The family units, you go there, you explain yourself, you make your statement, and then they will take it up. You can also approach any of these NGOs. We have a lot of NGOs scattered all over the places doing the same thing. We have FIDA, International Federation of Women Lawyers. We do our services free of charge.
Pro bono?
Yes,
free
pro
of
bono.
charge.
You don't have to pay any money. We also have the Human Rights Committee in the NBA. They also do pro bono services. In the Ministry of Justice, we have citizens' rights. So you can walk into the Ministry of Justice on the 3rd floor.
So you have mentioned 4 now.
Yes. We also have the SAC Center. I think that is somewhere around Benin Motel Plaza, behind Benin Motel Plaza. SAC Center means Sexual Assault Center.
Sexual Assault Center.
Yes. Where you can go there, lay your claim. It's a one-stop shop for anything concerning domestic violence. So you have doctors there, you have counselors there, you have lawyers there, just different decks. So you go from one desk to the other, and they do it pro bono.
So a woman should not suffer in silence.
No.
Because you know that there are some families that will encourage the woman to stay, bear it. Your children are there.
Yeah.
You want another woman to come and knock your children's head. They will sermonize. They will tell you, it is not in our family for you to divorce. And nobody has ever divorced in our family. All of that is the hair. That's the word. It's a taboo. All of that will be heaped on the woman. And in the long run, the woman may not be able to talk. All right, we'll take a very short break now. When we come back, we'll ask more questions, and then we'll wrap it up woman to woman. But be rest assured that there is help. There are places you can go to seek help. All right, let's not allow the 16 days of activism go in vain. If you are a victim, Biko, open your mouth and talk. That same mouth you use in gossiping, use it to talk. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, thank you for staying tuned to the program Woman to Woman on Independent Television. There is nothing to be proud about. A man who hits his wife at every and anything. You want to change wives, you hit the one at home so that she leaves. Your girlfriend is there. I don't know how. Let's just do this one. How do men get so affected by side chicks to the point that they go home and then unleash terrors on their wife? What do these side chicks do that the wife cannot do?
I think it's just a matter of perspective. And you know what they say now, new thing they catch where. So you meet a girl that you have not really stayed with, you don't know her, and she's doing some kind of small things to entice you, and you think that is just the end of the world. forgetting that the time you met your wife, she was doing those things that really got your attention. That one don't fade. So you are now seeing a new girl that is tracking you, and it will fade with time. True. If you notice, they go from one to the other, and they keep telling you, oh, she has become a bad girl. All of a sudden, do you understand? I think it's just that new thing they catch.
Why, because sometimes I just sit there and say, why is the one at home not usually enough? Why? Why is the one at home not usually
it's
enough?
It's lack of self-discipline. Yes, it's lack of self-discipline.
And then when you go and come back, you say, nah, devil, I'm sorry.
And then when they see Pepe outside, they come back home and start begging.
I'm sorry, my darling wife. None of that. Okay, Favour, let me ask you this question. Now, you know that accessing healthcare services ordinarily is a difficult thing for women. Yeah. A woman would rather buy clothes and all of that than seeking help. So, what, how does domestic violence impact a victim's ability to access healthcare, and what barriers do they face in accessing this healthcare?
One of the ways that domestic violence affects victims' ability to access healthcare is the fact that they have restrictions from their perpetrators. Okay. You see that their spouse that beats them up will block their access to accessing healthcare because they don't want them to expose them. All right?
I'm listening.
And then another way that it affects them is, again, shame and embarrassment, stigma. They don't want people to know that, so they keep to themselves that they are being beaten and battered by their spouses. And then, you know, there are no special, in most health facilities, there are no special designated areas, just like she was saying about the legal units where they have areas that cater for domestic violence. We don't really have those areas in quotes for
it's a special
place where people that have that concern go. In as much as we're looking at reproductive health, in medical field, we have what we call reproductive health. And domestic violence has to fall under, or intimate partner violence also falls under reproductive health, violence, and all of that. But then, we don't have it like, oh, this unit is for domestic violated women.
So do you
suggest
that something like that should?
I think so. I think, you know,
special unit
they should
like
have
that.
a special unit where women can come and they are confident enough. And then healthcare personnel should be trained. They should not be judgmental. Because another challenge is when you go to the hospital and you're like, when you eventually manages to open up and say, it's my husband that beat me, say, Unamas, not so much.
That's true.
You know, that woman automatically goes back into a shell and she's not ready to open up again. All right?
That's
so I think healthcare personnel should also be trained specially to handle domestically violated personalities.
That's a huge one. We'll see how we can push that. Okay, Tega, time is not our friend anymore. So what advice would you give to someone who is experiencing domestic violence, and where can they turn to for help? I know you mentioned some. Can you just re-emphasize the places they should go to and just give them advice? Just advice that you will give to someone. I'm your client now, and no, not be Misha. Somebody is your client, and that person is being battered and beaten. And you know, another thing, most women think, no matter how educated that woman is, she think that approaching a lawyer is one huge thing. Lawyers are your friends. They are approachable, and then they think about the finance, and then they think about so many things, and you know, all of that and all of that and all of that. So what advice would you give to anyone, somebody, a beautiful, good woman out there who is experiencing domestic violence, and where can they turn to for help?
Okay, so just to add to what I said earlier about speaking up, speak out, seek professional help and all that, I also think, I always advocate that the victims should leave that environment. Because if you die, you will just lose out.
Exactly. Living an environment is quite difficult. Where would that victim go to?
It is. Okay, we have a lot of NGOs that provide shelter for domestic violence victims. We have shelters all over. One is, I think even the Women Affairs, they have shelter now. We have Pathfinders Justice Initiative.
Okay, I know about that.
Yes. So we have shelters. If you approach FIDA, we can refer you to the shelter. Do you understand? So it's just a matter of identifying the NGOs, you know, that deal with cases like this, and then they'll be able to refer you if they do not have a shelter.
Yeah,
so
there is hope for victims.
Yes, there is. There is. But it's also left for the victims to be resolute, to be able to pursue their abusers. Because we have had a lot of cases where we take up this kind of issue, and at the end of the day, the woman or the man will just come and say, please, I beg, and then will say it go be like this. Family, they, I mean, a case in issue is this woman that the husband cut off, shot her hand, and the hand was eventually amputated.
Yes,
we took up that matter.
Case.
NGOs all over took up that matter. At a point, she came and she went to court and wrote an affidavit saying she's withdrawing the matter. She doesn't want to prosecute the husband again, and he's a devil work. So you begin to ask yourself,
what if she has died
in
the process?
Do you understand? So
you know how can they deal with family pressure? You know, family pressure is another thing. Imagine a woman whose hand was amputated as a result of the husband's misbehavior with her, or is that misbehavior or outright wickedness?
I mean,
how do you shoot your wife in the arm for if you're tired of a woman, let her go.
Leave.
Exactly.
You know? People will only talk. They only talk for a while, and that matter will fade off. So how do we deal with family pressures? We are women here. Let's leave our profession now and talk as women. How do we deal with family pressures?
I think it's, like I said before, it has to do with the individual. You have to be resolute. You have to tell yourself that this is me, this is my life. So no matter what they do, no matter what they tell me, I want to pursue this. Because if you leave that man on the loose, he will go to another person. He will go to his next victim. Exactly. And it keeps going on. And also you need to send him to the cleaners for his sake and for the sake of maybe his children and the society.
Okay, and as a woman, and I know that you're a counselor, you're a pastor, you are so many things rolled into one. How do we train our men? Because home training is another thing. In some homes, the male children are treated differently. A male child can just sit down comfortably, stretch his leg on the TV and say, give me water, give me remote. Don't you know that I'm a man? Because that's what daddy does. Don't you know that I'm a man? For which person house you want to do that? And here, please, just how should we raise our sons so that tomorrow we don't raise a wife bitter. We don't raise a son who will shoot the wife. Entitled men. How do we deal with this so that tomorrow when your daughter is married, you know that, oh, my daughter is going to marry a man who will show empathy, who will show some concern for that woman. I just, please, let's talk. How do we raise our sons as we wrap up now?
I want to beg mothers, plead with mothers. Let's spend time with our sons like we spend with our daughters. The challenge that we do have as mothers is we have time for our daughter because we are afraid we don't want them to bring unwanted pregnancies home. We don't want them to be this, we don't want them to be that. But indirectly, we have a way of neglecting our sons. So if every woman in the society takes a male child as an agenda to train positively, we'll have a better man tomorrow.
Okay.
So as mothers, please don't pamper your sons in a way that they'll become nuisance to the society. Rather, tell them they should be treated, they should be, you know, they say do what you want others to do, what you want to be done to you, do it to others. So treat this son, let these sons treat these ladies like themselves. If they begin to see their sisters like themselves, you allow them to live equally, no gender bias in the house. It will have a long way to pass a message to these young men when they grow up that, oh, whether she's female or I'm male, we are one and the same. And when this mindset is in there, it's difficult for the male or the boy to raise his hand against any female out there. Start it from your home. Start it from your children, the male and the female. Don't allow the boys to say, come, what's his name? John, beat favor for me. You know, some mothers, we are good at it. Say, let your brother come today. Come. Beat joy for me. No. Okay. Let's, you know, allow our girls and our boys to grow like the male and female that they have.
All right, in a minute, Barrister, please talk to those men. Let them understand that their sons are watching. The ones who have this entitlement, I am the man, okay, that kind of a thing, I make a house. You know, forgetting that their sons are watching. Please talk to them in a minute so that we leave.
Yes, our Nigerian men, our African men, there is no entitlement in this matter. If you fall foul of the law, the law is going to come at you.
Massive.
Because there is no sacred cow here. There is no sacred cow here. A woman and the man is equal under our law. There is no, oh, this is the man, he has this right, he has, the woman has this right. What happens to the man under the law happens to the woman too. So you must train yourself and train your children to be under the law, to act well and to act appropriately.
Okay, so ladies, together we say, let's say a big no to domestic violence, okay? No! We don't want.
No.
You don't reach like that.
Exactly.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Be that man that you want your daughter to be married to, or your sister or your cousin. Otherwise, you will bite your finger as well. Bye-bye.